Test Track, Soarin, the brand new Remys Ratatouille adventure. We're ranking the rides here at EPCOT, so stick around to see who comes out on top. And just like the other videos we've done on this at the other Disney parks, this is just the rides here at EPCOT. So this isn't going to include any of the amazing exhibits inside the World Showcase pavilions, any of the movie stage shows like the American Adventure. These are just the physical rides we're ranking today. Kicking things off in the bottom spot, I'm so sorry Figment fans, but it's Journey into Imagination starring Figment. Now the reason I think a lot of people love this attraction is because they are still clinging on to its predecessors, the original version that featured the Dreamfinder. If you're not familiar with the Dreamfinder or the history that this attraction has and the character Figment that it stars, then this definitely isn't a must-do for your family. It is a family ride, so anybody in the party can enjoy it, and it takes you through the Imagination Institute with Dr. Nigel Channing and Figment, who teaches you about the 5 senses. Little kids are gonna like it, older kids probably not, teenagers probably not unless they have some kind of attachment to Figment, but it's a fine attraction. For me personally, the peak version of this attraction is during the holidays when Figment wears his holiday sweater. It does have a lightning lane, but it usually doesn't have too long of a line either, so it is a good filler attraction if you want to break from eating and drinking, if you're waiting for a return time at a more popular attraction, or you're just looking for something without a long line. But for most people, unless you have some kind of emotional attachment to the character Figment, this is probably not a must-do for you. On my list, I would give this about a 2 on the Molly must-do list. Please don't yell at me, Figment fans. Sailing into number 9, we have the attraction here inside the Mexico Pavilion, the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the 3 Caballeros. This family-friendly boat ride takes you through Mexico as Jose Carioca and Panchito ask themselves, "Donde está Donald?" and they look for Donald Duck. It's a really cute attraction. It doesn't have lightning lane. It usually doesn't have too long of a line if you can get into the pyramid without a long wait. So it is really cute, and if you've got a Donald Duck fan or little ones in your family, or maybe you've had a margarita at the Tequila Cave, and it's a nice attraction. But Grand Fiesta Tour on my list is going to be about a 2.5, 3 on the Molly Must Ride scale. I wouldn't recommend waiting more than like 10, 15 minutes for it. There's a lot more that you can do in EPCOT besides go on this attraction, but I don't think anyone is ever mad when they're riding Grand Fiesta Tour. But this attraction once peaked, and it will never be as good as it once was. Because in January 2019, the Donald Duck animatronic broke, and some human, some genius, some American hero put a plant with a sombrero in the place of the Donald Duck animatronic. It was the greatest moment I've ever experienced in a theme park, and nothing will ever be that good. If Plant Donald was here, this attraction would be number 1, no questions asked. You know, it's definitely a skippable attraction if your main point of coming into EPCOT is just eat and drink and enjoy yourself and have a nice day. It's definitely not a must-do for a lot of people, which is why it lands at number 9. Found my pal Dory here to help me talk about the next attraction on our list, the Seas with Nemo and Friends. This replaced the Living Seas, which is the original attraction in this space, and it is an Omnimover dark ride where you're going to go through the story of finding Nemo and then end up in the sea base, which is an aquarium with real-life marine creatures such as dolphins, stingrays, turtles, manatees, your friend and mine, Mr. Eel. The Seas with Nemo and Friends is actually one of my most favorite underrated attractions in all of Walt Disney World, simply because 1, I love marine life, and 2, I like any ride where you're going to slowly put me through a Disney story. I love a dark ride like this, Little Mermaid over at the Magic Kingdom, Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan's Flight. There's just something quintessentially Disney about that to me, so I really enjoyed this attraction. Now, I don't think this is for your teenagers or your older ones who don't care about that. This is a great family ride, though. There's no height requirement. It does have a Genie Plus Lightning Lane. However, it usually doesn't have too long of a line, so you can sneak on it with usually a walk-on wait. So it's a great one to do in between some other attractions, or bring your little ones on while the older kids are riding the thrill rides in this park. You also can just visit the sea base if you don't have any interest in riding the attraction, you just want to go see those sea creatures, you can go do that. That's a great activity as well. There is a free scavenger hunt your kids can do in there, and I love going into the sea base, cooling off, getting some air conditioning, and checking out the marine life. Hey, Mr. Eel! Happy New Year! Well, hi, Molly. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you have a great 2022. Well, thanks, Mr. Eel. I was just talking about where the ride ranks on the EPCOT list. The Sea's number 1, Molly. It's, you know, it was my favorite ride. Yeah, Mr. Eel, I know the Sea's is your favorite ride, and I just wanted to let you know that it is in ranking number 7. Did you say 7? Nope. Gotta go, Mr. Eel. Bye, love you. For me, I unexpectedly would put the Seas with Nemo Friends at a 5 on my personal level, but I think for most people, unless you've got little ones, it's probably more about a 3. Landing in at number 7, Mission Space. Now, Mission Space is an incredible attraction. The technology used here is absolutely amazing. But the reason it lands so low on our list, it also will probably make you want to throw up. In fact, this is the only Disney World attraction to become equipped with barf bags. Because it's got 2 different versions, there are also 2 different height requirements. Green has 40 inches less intense, orange is 44 inches more intense. It also does have Genie Plus as a lightning lane, but keep in mind, you can only use it on one side. So if you want to ride both sides, I recommend using the Genie Plus lightning lane on whichever one is longer, and then just waiting standby for the others. It does have a very long line today on the orange side. Again, they did just announce it was longer because of a delay. It's also a very, very busy time of year, so it's got a 75-minute for orange right now. Green, however, only has 15, so this one is typically one you can get on without too terrible of a wait. Commander, come in. This is Molly Lightyear, over and out. Yaw, pitch roll. We are ready for liftoff. I repeat, flow, raw, pitch, roll. We are ready for liftoff. Molly Lightyear, over and out. Mission Space on the Molly Must Ride scale is going to be a 3. If you can stomach it, it's a very cool attraction, and it's a thrill ride that probably won't have too long of a wait, at least on one side. So if you can do it, Mission Space is a 3, but again, do not eat before riding. Landing in the number 6 spot, the first attraction here inside the Land Pavilion in the World Nature Neighborhood. That is going to be Living with the Land. This is that calm, relaxing boat ride through the greenhouses here at EPCOT. Now, for a lot of people, this is a must-do, and I don't blame you. I genuinely love this attraction and think it's very underrated. It's very calm. You're going to see some cool things like fish and shrimp and bananas and a giant pumpkin in the shape of a Mickey. Well, that's seasonal. But truly, this is a family ride, and it's a very, very quintessential EPCOT attraction. So if you're looking for that old school EPCOT feel, this is a great attraction for that. Little kids tend to love this one. It's great at the holidays as well because it does a holiday overlay where they put Christmas lights and twinkle lights all over the greenhouses. And it's really neat because a lot of the food actually grown in the greenhouses that you're going to see, like all of the lettuce and the different produce and the herbs, is used throughout not only the Land Pavilion here, but the kitchens when they do the different festivals, as well as other restaurants around Walt Disney World. So it's really fun if you've got a little kid where you can go ride Living with the Land, look at the lettuce, and then go eat lunch at Garden Grill, and you can be like, hey, that's Mickey's lettuce. Maybe they'll eat their vegetables then if you do that. Living with the Land usually doesn't have too long of a line, so you can use this as a great filler attraction. It does have Genie Plus, though you probably don't need to use it. The only times that it's going to be really busy are, again, during those peak seasons, but even then you can usually get on this with less than a 20-minute wait. So it's a great attraction. It's a very nostalgic attraction. Lots of people love this one. On Molly's must-ride list, I love Living with the Land. I'm giving it a 5. So am I alone in that, or is this truly one of the best underrated rides at Disney World? Zooming into number 5 on our list, Test Track, Walt Disney World's fastest attraction that goes 65 miles an hour.
Wow, it's Daily Commute, the ride. I'm so thrilled to wait 90 minutes to then be in traffic. It's not like I already hate that experience every day.
Test Track is a car-themed attraction where you are designing a sim car and then testing it out on the sim track. As you're designing your car, you're focused on 4 different things: capability, power, efficiency, and handling, I think. That sounds good. You are testing your car out on 4 different things, so when you design your car, you're trying to make the best car ever, and then when you actually go test it out, if you scan your band, you can see how your car performs on the sim track. The reason I like this attraction is because I am incredibly competitive, and I like to see if I can design a better car than my friends and family. The target for this one is definitely little kids, because based on my young nephew's reaction, little kids love cars. However, for most grown-ups, I think a lot of us remember old Test Track and like that version a little bit more when you were a crash test dummy. Test Track is incredibly popular, though it usually has a very, very long line, so this is a great one to use that Genie Plus on. It does have a 40-inch height requirement, so keep that in mind as well, and it does also offer a single rider line. For me, Test Track is fine. It's a decent attraction. There are some things I like about it, like the ability to customize those cars, but as my friend Duckfist has often pointed out, you can go faster in your car on the way to Walt Disney World than you can on this attraction. So for me, as someone who drives an actual car every day, this one's not as thrilling as others. So I'm not one to advise waiting in a super duper long line for it. So again, either use that lightning lane for Genie Plus or get here early in the morning.
Here comes the final test.
Energizing for power test.
On Molly's must-ride list, if this was my personal day in the park, would be like a 2, but I think for most people it's more like a 4. It's a very fun attraction if you've got little ones. It's a great kind of intro thrill ride. It still has the vibe of EPCOT, but it does tend to, again, get very long lines, which is why I'd not rank it a 5 for myself. Coming in 4th place, just barely missing the metal platform, Frozen Ever After. Now, I'm sure a lot of the diehard Epcot fans are mad that Frozen Ever After outranks a lot of the classic old-style Epcot attractions. But when you're talking about a first-time visitor or someone that's not been before, someone bringing their kids, Frozen Ever After really is an incredible attraction. It's a boat ride where Maelstrom used to be, and it takes you, of course, through the Frozen story. Frozen is one of, for sure, the most popular franchises Disney's ever done, so it's only fitting that they get a story, and Arendelle is based off of Norwegian and Scandinavian culture, so it makes sense that it sits here in Norway. But the reason this attraction is so great is, one, it is a family attraction, so everybody in your party can enjoy it. It's a classic Disney boat ride. The animatronics are incredible, both the human animatronics where they're using the projection mapping on the faces of Anna, Elsa, and Kristoff, but also the animatronics of Sven and Olaf. They are so realistic, they're so lifelike, they're absolutely incredible. And I don't care what you say, the song Let It Go still slaps, even though I know you've heard it 10,000 times by this point. This attraction is incredibly, incredibly popular. It is on Genie Plus. It's typically a fancy ride, which means you will have to pay extra for it. But because it's a lightning lane, it gets very, very, very long lines. My recommendation, if you don't want to purchase that fancy ride additional fee, is to come first thing in the morning, especially if you're a resort guest. Take advantage of that early theme park admission. Or in the evenings, it may drop, especially if you're a deluxe resort guest and can take advantage of the late extra magic hour theme park admission. This attraction is very cute, and sure, if you are a family of older kids or teenagers, or your main focus of being here is to eat and drink and enjoy the festivals, then maybe don't wait in a long line for Frozen Ever After. But if you've got kids, if you've got little ones, Frozen fans, it's a must-do in my book. Frozen Ever After in my book is a 5. It's a very cute attraction. The animatronics are great. It's a classic Disney boat ride, and it's a fun family ride that everyone can enjoy. And taking the bronze medal, we've got an Epcot classic, Spaceship Earth. You know, the attraction inside the giant golf ball, that is Spaceship Earth. Now, this is a family-style attraction that takes you through the story of communication through time. You're going to go through classic scenes such as the Egyptians, the Library of Alexandria burning, the Renaissance with Michelangelo. Probably everybody's favorite scenes are either the Phoenicians or, of course, the sassy scientist. This attraction is an omnimover, so a classic style, and this is like the last of the OG Epcot attractions. This is really what it comes down to when Epcot opened. This is what a lot of the attractions were like. The focus was edutainment, educating and entertaining all in one, and this attraction certainly fits the bill. The only reason this one isn't higher because if you don't have any connection to original Epcot, you may not find this one as thrilling. But I think for all diehard Disney fans, especially your Epcot fans, this is the number one must-do as far as that goes. This attraction does have a lightning lane. It can get really long, but it usually will drop pretty low throughout the day. The reason it gets long on non-peak days is because people walk into the park, see a line, and they just jump into the first one they spot. So if it looks line when you get in, wait a little bit, I promise it will drop. However, during peak busy times, this is definitely a must-do for a lot of people, so it will get a very, very long line. Let me know where Spaceship Earth should stand. I feel like this is the diciest one, but I feel like if you are a first timer or you're not a diehard Epcot fan or you're looking for more of a thrill attraction or something newer, this one's not going to top your list. But for me and a lot of OG Epcot fans, this one is for sure a 5 on the must ride list. Bonjour from France, where I should never do accents again. It's also home to our number 2, the silver medal winner. Coming in already at the newest attraction of Walt Disney World, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This family ride opened officially on October 1st, Disney World's 50th anniversary, and it is absolutely adorable. It's already shot up to being one of the most popular attractions in all of Walt Disney World, and it was a very welcome addition to this park. It's a 3D attraction that shrinks you down to the size of a rat, where you'll board the cutest ride vehicles ever and go on an adventure with Remy that incorporates both screens and larger-than-life sets. Every time I ride this attraction, I adore it more and more. It's just super, super cute. This is a great story, and it's a great use of trackless vehicles and technology combined with a classic Disney dark ride feel. Now, because this attraction is brand new and incredibly popular, it does not currently have a standby line, which means there's 2 ways to ride it. You can purchase a fancy ride, or you can join a virtual boarding queue. The problem to me, while you do have to pay for the fancy ride, I do recommend it at this one because with the virtual boarding queue, you may, 1, not be able to get one, 2, if you're park hopping into Epcot, you won't be able to get one because of the times they drop with the current restrictions, and 3, even once you do get called back, the line is usually about 45 minutes or longer just to return. So this is one that if you're gonna wanna ride it, either go for that virtual boarding crew, take advantage of that extra park time. If you're a resort guest, it's available for certain times, or purchase the fancy ride. But to me, this is a welcome addition to Epcot. It is this park needed more family rides, and this is a really, really great one that everyone in the family can enjoy. It is truly adorable. I did a whole video about it when this opened with all the Easter eggs and cute stuff to look for, so check that out as well. The Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, number 2 spot. 5 on Molly's must ride list. Which means number 1, the gold medal winner, Soarin' around the world here in the Land Pavilion. This hand gliding attraction dangles you tens of feet in the air as you soar across some of the most iconic places in the world, including the pyramids of Giza, the Savannah of Africa, the Great Wall of China, the Eiffel Tower. It is a thrill ride with a lower height requirement, 40 inches, but it is just a pleasant, wonderful attraction. There are smells as you go over certain areas. You're going to feel the breeze on your face. Look at these gorgeous different things. Your host is Patrick Warburton. It's just a really nice attraction. I'm lucky enough to get to ride Disney rides all the time, and this is one of the only ones that when it's over, people clap because it is just a nice and delightful attraction. We often joke that this is everyone's mom's favorite attraction. So Soarin' is still very, very popular since it debuted as Soarin' over California. So it can get a rather long line. This is a great one to use Genie Plus on if you're purchasing that. Otherwise, take advantage of coming early or late with those extra park hours if you're a resort guest, or just watch the wait times. This one does tend to get longer because of Genie Plus. However, even if you're not purchasing that, you should be able to get on Soarin' with a 45-minute wait or less. So it's a really, really great attraction. For me, it's definitely the number 1 in Epcot. 5 stars as far as the Molly must-do rating. We gotta soar around the world. Tell me your favorite scene in the comments, and if you can, when it's not super busy, ask nicely for B1, best seat in the house. And don't worry, friends, we've got a list of the attractions and the ranking. You can have it for free in your inbox. Just head to this website, sign up for our newsletter. It'll come straight to you. So that way you've got it ready to go for your next trip. Well, that wraps up the ranking of the rides here at Epcot. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Did your favorite come out on top? Are you going to fight for one to be higher? You think one should be lower? Let us know all of that in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media at AllEars.net, and until next time, I'm Molly, and it's been magical.
Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.